Conflict by Fraser, Jürgen Rivera, Kayla Smith, and Sharonka Williams. We are taught from a very young age that conflict is bad. This is an unfortunate misunderstanding of what conflict is and its importance. Conflict happens when parties disagree on goals, resources, or anything else. It is a useful and necessary part of human interaction rather than an evil to be avoided. Ronald Reagan put it well when he said, "Peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means." Types of conflict. In order to understand conflict, it is important to know the different types of conflict. Substantive or task conflict is the first type. It revolves around the task a group is working on and arises when people have different opinions about ideas, evidence, or reasoning surrounding the task. This is a helpful type of conflict as it allows the group to raise doubts and other problems and find the best solution. Affective or interpersonal conflict is about clashes of personal power and opinions. These conflicts are unrelated to the task of the group and can be detrimental. They usually stem from clashes of personality, unequal workloads, or other personal problems. Procedural conflict is a third type of conflict. These conflicts are focused on how the task should be completed and can arise from either substantive or affective conflicts depending on the situation. Myths about conflict. There are many myths surrounding conflict that are so pervasive that most people assume they are facts. You may have heard these misconceptions from teachers, your parents, friends, or even business people. Learning the truth can put you on the path to being a better and happier group member. The first myth is that conflict is harmful and should be avoided at all costs. In truth, conflict can be helpful and beneficial to a group if managed properly. Conflict can actually get group members more involved and improve cohesion. When there is a conflict of ideas and members are able to voice their opinions, they feel like they matter. Conflict also allows the group to clarify things, explain misunderstandings, and come up with a stronger solution. Next is the myth that conflict is a misunderstanding or breakdown in communication. While some conflict is based on miscommunication, not all is. If group members disagree on core issues, such as political leanings or moral values, it can be nearly impossible to reach a consensus. These issues have nothing to do with communication, and attributing them to it can leave the group at an impasse. Figuring out the case of a conflict is key to finding a workable solution and moving past it. A related myth is that conflicts can be resolved if parties are willing to discuss the issue. Depending on the reason for the conflict, there may be no solution. Conflicts based on ethical or value differences can be nearly impossible to reconcile. Scarcity of resources can also contribute to difficult to solve conflict, as no one is willing to give up what they have to let it go somewhere else. If members have different goals, conflicts can also arise that are hard to find a solution to. Unrest in the Middle East, including the current ISIS conflict, is an example of all three issues. The rift within the Muslim faith, as well as differing values between the Middle East and Western powers such as the United States, create a hostile climate with little hope of reconciliation through talk alone. The desert environment means resources are scarce, with the exception of a few countries that are rich in oil. This has caused a lot of tension over the years and keeps most parties unwilling to compromise or collaborate. Each country, including the United States, is focused on their own goals, which keeps the conflict going as well. Another myth is that group cohesion is determined by personal chemistry and conflict is due to bad apples or a poor leader. While personal differences can lead to conflicts, this idea minimizes the impact of other things, such as problematic norms, differences in ideas, or inequality in the group. Blaming the individual or their personality for conflict, even the leader, is counterproductive. And again, conflict is an important and helpful part of group work. The key is managing it properly. Management of conflicts. There are 5 primary styles of conflict management. These styles are based on how much the individual wants to satisfy their own needs and how much they want to satisfy the needs of others. Each style can be useful in different situations. With avoidance, the group member chooses not to bring up a conflicting viewpoint and satisfies no one's goals. This style is appropriate when an issue isn't important to the outcome of the group's task. Accommodation happens when one member gives in to another without an argument. Here, only the other person's needs are satisfied. This style is useful when an issue is important to one person but not as important to the other. The opposite of accommodation, competition, happens when the individual fights for their point of view regardless of the opinions of others. This style can lead to angry, harmful interactions. If your values or beliefs are being violated, or you believe a decision is truly harmful to the group, this tactic is appropriate, but this can be a fine line to figure out. Currently, there is a debate in the gaming industry that has fallen prey to negative competition. This debate has been labeled Gamergate, and each side is unwilling to agree on even the central issue that is being debated. One side says the issue is about the integrity of gaming journalism, while the other insists that it is about the harassment of women in gaming. Each side is unwilling to budge on their core values, so the issues continue to be hotly debated. Collaboration is about making sure that everyone's needs are satisfied. Parties discuss options while trying to keep the needs of both in mind. This type of conflict management can create the best outcomes, but is also time-consuming and should be saved for more important decisions. Compromise is the last style of conflict management and seeks to satisfy some of each party's needs. It is similar to collaboration, but can be used where there isn't as much time to come to a decision. Both sides give up something and gain something. If individuals expect a compromise, they may ask for more than they really want up front. Compromise works best when a fair decision is reached and neither party wins. Within these different styles of conflict management, there are many ways to improve conflict resolution. One easy way is humor. Joking and laughing can help increase group cohesion and diffuse tension. It is important that this camaraderie is inclusive and positive, though. A study on conflict resolution of romantic couples showed that those that used positive humor resulted in positive outcomes, while those that used negative humor had negative resolutions. Conclusion. Margaret Hefferman, a prominent businesswoman, once said, "For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, and debate." Conflict has had a bad reputation and many myths surrounding it, but it can be a powerful and useful tool for those that learn to productively manage it. The next time you find yourself in the middle of a group conflict, stop and ask yourself what type of conflict it is and how you can make it work for you.